Have you ever imagined yourself behind the wheel of a car that, with each acceleration, could be your last? Get ready for a dark journey through the 20 worst American car engines of all time. In this countdown, we will reveal stories of promises of power that turned into authentic mechanical nightmares, from engines that fail before reaching 100,000 miles to those that have become so problematic that mechanics turn up their noses. You won't want to miss what we have to show you. Stay tuned and find out if your car is among the biggest fiascos in the automotive industry. We start our list at number 20, Ford 4.6 LV8 Triton. Launched in 1991, the Ford 4.6 LV8 Triton quickly became the engine of choice for trucks and SUVs, but as we'll say, having that engine under the hood can be more of a nightmare than a dream. With an interesting modular design, the Triton was offered in cast iron, but also with aluminum heads. Don't let the rugged appearance fool you. This engine has dark secrets behind its structure. Incredibly, many engines failed before they even reached 150,000 miles. Combustion chamber problems have left many owners with a bitter taste. Who knew this V8 could have so much weakness? And it doesn't stop there. The Triton was a serious candidate for recalls for causing fires due to misfires. Imagine driving and suddenly realizing that your engine is a time bomb. It's enough to leave any enthusiast on duty panicking. At number 19, Chevrolet 5.7L Vortech. The Chevrolet 5.7L Vortech, launched in 1996, has become an icon in pickup trucks. It was an engine that promised robustness and reliability, but not everything that glitters is gold, as you will discover. With its V8 and sequential fuel injection, the Vortech brought power and efficiency. A true promise. But did he deliver what he promised under pressure? Let's dive into it. Although some drivers praise its longevity, many have reported serious overheating issues. Imagine being stuck on the road, watching your engine scream, "Help!" What a disaster. Used by police vehicles, Vortech quickly showed its vulnerability. Durability failures under load in commercial applications have left many drivers disappointed. A real fiasco. At number 18, Dodge 2.7 LV6. Introduced in 1998, the Dodge 2.7 LV6 engine seemed like a perfect economical choice for sedans and SUVs, but was it really all that? Connect to the world of engines and discover their flaws and failures. This V6 engine featured an aluminum block, promising a balance between performance and fuel economy. But was the performance worth the apparent savings? Spoiler, things didn't go as expected. After just 100,000 miles, many owners are faced with a nightmare: distribution chain problems. Did you know that this caused real chaos among drivers? A time bomb in every car, with a bad reputation echoing in workshops. Mechanics fear this engine due to its high failure rate, especially in poorly maintained vehicles. You never want to hear, "It's time to open the Dodge." At number 17, Pontiac 307 V8. Manufactured between 1980 and 1990, the Pontiac 307 V8 was a common choice in sedans at the time, but don't let the popularity fool you. This engine was about to become a mechanical nightmare for many drivers. With its V8 styling, the Pontiac 307 aimed for efficiency but ended up delivering disappointing power. It was like expecting an explosion and only receiving a pop. Almost ridiculous. Oil problems and internal failures became the standard for the Pontiac 307. Drivers often found themselves in difficult situations, compromising the confidence they should have in their car. Famously criticized for its lack of innovation and power, this engine has become an icon of frustration. No wonder car lovers often turned up their noses at it, affectionately calling it boring. At number 16, Chrysler 2.2 L Turbo. The Chrysler 2.2 L Turbo seemed like a dream for performance fans, but it soon became a nightmare. From the first accelerator, problems arose, leaving many drivers frustrated and wondering if it was a broken promise. With its four-cylinder inline engine design, this little giant had enormous potential. Tested in races, it promised speed, but what should have been an advantage turned into a headache for enthusiasts. Famous for constant failures, the 2.2 L Turbo was a real mechanical fiasco. Lubrication problems were so common that many called it a walking bomb. Reliability, almost non-existent. In pursuit of a competitive advantage, Chrysler introduced this engine with high hopes. Unfortunately, the result was a series of problems that left many asking, was it worth the risk? At number 15, Chevrolet 2.2 litros EcoTech. Launched in the 2000s, the Chevrolet 2.2 liters EcoTech was used in several of the brand's compact vehicles. However, his reputation for being weak and troublesome soon spread. Think about it, an engine that was supposed to be a solution turned into a headache. This engine is an inline four-cylinder, designed to offer economy and low cost. But the truth is that efficiency seems to have taken a back seat, as failures are a constant among drivers who counted on its supposed robustness. Problems really start after 100,000 miles. Failing clutches and damaged cylinder heads are frequent complaints. Many call these failures a maturity crisis, but in reality, it is more like a life crisis for EcoTech. If you are thinking about using this engine in high-load applications, you better rethink. Many mechanics recommend early replacement, turning what should be a viable option into a heavy burden for picky homeowners. At number 14, Ford 6.0 liters. Introduced in 2003, the Ford 6.0 liters Power Stroke soon racked up heavy criticism. Owners couldn't believe this engine was a dream that quickly became a nightmare, riddled with failures that left many on the road. This V8 turbo diesel engine was designed for heavy trucks, promising impressive torque, but instead, many drivers have seen their trucks become real work tools at the mechanic. Reports of seal problems and fuel pump failures have become common. Many drivers find themselves on the road, asking, "Why did my truck stop?" A real nightmare for those who trusted him. The frustration led to a wave of recalls and even legal action. What was supposed to be a symbol of strength turned into a case of mechanical disaster, making many owners swear never to trust this engine again. At number 13, Volkswagen 2.0 LTDI US codes. The Volkswagen 2.0 LTDI is widely known for its fuel efficiency. Its use was common in Volkswagen models, promising savings. But what really happened when the lights went out under the hood? This diesel engine is a four-cylinder with direct injection, offering decent performance. But when the problem arises, it can leave you on the side of the road, causing explosive reactions of frustration. Problems with this engine's emission system are so recurrent that they seem to have become its trademark. Frequent breakdowns and many legal cases ruined Volkswagen's reputation and consumer trust. The emission scandal provoked an unprecedented wave of distrust. What was a symbol of efficiency is now seen as a bomb in dealerships. How does this stain on the brand's history still impact drivers today? At number 12, GMC 6.5 L Turbo Diesel. The GMC 6.5 liters turbo diesel was seen as a promising gem on the streets, but where are the promises now? Many owners felt betrayed to discover that performance left a lot to be desired. This V8 turbo diesel engine was designed for trucks and SUVs, promising power and efficiency. But the reality was very different, with more frustration than emotion when turning the ignition key. The reports were clear: poor performance and frequent heating failures. Imagine being stuck on a sidewalk, not knowing if the engine will take you home, or if it will fail around the corner. Constant design changes and distribution problems ruined what could have been a classic. Ultimately, the GMC 6.5L was retired, taking with it shattered dreams and expectations. At number 11, Buick 3.8 LV6. The Buick 3.8 LV6 has a mixed record, being praised by some but criticized by many. In its final years, however, problems began to accumulate, tarnishing its reputation for reliability. This liquid-cooled V6 had power inconsistencies that left drivers frustrated. With each acceleration, you never knew whether you would receive robust performance or a weak start. Problems began to intensify, with cylinder head failures becoming common after 100,000 miles. Drivers reported that this was bad news for an engine that had already had its glory days. Although initially well received, newer Buick 3.8 LV6 models quickly lost public trust. The charm of the past has turned into distrust, leaving many drivers disappointed. At number 10, Chevrolet 3.5 litros 5.6. The Chevrolet 3.5 LV6 tried to be the economy hero, but failed miserably in performance. It tried hard, but lacking in durability. It ended up becoming a nightmare for drivers who expected more than just a low price tag. This inline engine was widely used in Chevrolet sedans due to its low production cost. If the intention was to offer an affordable car, the reality is that many drivers soon discovered the price to pay for this saving. Surprisingly, several units of this engine failed even before reaching 100,000 kilometers. If you didn't take good care of it, you could say goodbye to your engine sooner than you think, leaving frustrated drivers along the way. The 3.5 LV6's reputation is so bad that many owners have simply abandoned leaky boats in favor of more reliable engines. History teaches, sometimes, what's cheap is expensive, and you may end up changing your engine sooner than you expected. At number 9, Nissan 3.5 LV6. The Nissan 3.5 LV6 was designed with economy in mind, but it ended up disappointing many. It promised efficiency, but owners quickly realized that without durability, savings became a distant dream. This engine features a lightweight aluminum block, but its V6 design in the sedan and SUV lineup was not enough to guarantee reliability. It seemed like a good idea on paper, but in practice it left a lot to be desired. After 100,000 miles, it was common to hear reports of serious problems, failing oil pumps and overheating. These problems made this engine a real headache for anyone who owned it. Despite several changes in an attempt to improve its reliability, many users were still dissatisfied. The engine, which was supposed to be the solution, turned into a mechanical nightmare for many. At number 8. Mazda 2.3 liter DC. The Mazda 2.3 LDSA was designed for efficiency, but it turned out to be a real mechanical nightmare. Imagine an engine that promised economy, but let its owners down when accelerating. Pure drama on wheels. This direct injection turbocharged engine seemed like the perfect choice for sedans and hatchbacks, until promises of power and economy faded with recurring failures. Instead of performance, it only brought frustration. Drivers have reported repeated problems with the fuel pump, leading to costly replacements. It was so problematic that it looked more like a walking bomb than a reliable engine. Have you ever imagined the stress? Innovation and failures were the hallmarks of this engine. Many preferred to return to previous models that guaranteed more confidence. After all, who doesn't want an engine that is synonymous with performance, rather than a mechanical disaster? At number 7, Jeep 4.0 Li6. The Jeep 4.0 Li6 is a legendary engine, famous for its efficiency. However, as the years pass, it presents flaws that take owners by surprise. No wonder many are disappointed when problems arise. This 6-cylinder inline engine is known for its robustness, offering a pleasant drive and consistent power. But, like every good story, there is something more behind this strong appearance that many owners ignore. Reports of seal failure and overheating after long periods of use are common. Imagine driving your Jeep and suddenly realizing that the engine is struggling. This caused a lot of stress for those who believed they had a robust off-road vehicle. While many consider the 4.0 Li6 to be one of Jeep's best, it's hard to ignore the underlying issues. What should be an icon in durability loses some of its luster. When these serious challenges arise, would you be willing to take a risk? At number 6, Ford 4.0 LSOH CV6. The Ford 4.0 LSOH CV6 is an engine that many associate with trucks and SUVs, but its criticisms sound like an echo in the workshops. It's a classic example of an engine that failed to win the hearts or the roads of consumers. With ASOHC design, the goal was clear: balance power and efficiency. But this recipe ended up coming out of the oven a little burnt, bringing more headaches than driving pleasure to many drivers. Reports of valve failure are common, emerging even before the 100,000 miles have accumulated. The mechanics probably know every detail of this engine from hearing so much about its crises, right? The Ford 4.0 LSOH CV6 struggled to gain consumer trust. With each failure, it was another reminder that not everything that glitters on the asphalt is gold. It's a real roller coaster of disappointments for those who bet on this engine. At number 5, Lexus 2.5 litros y 4. Seeking to stand out in the luxury market, the Lexus 2.5 Li4 engine disappointed consumers. Instead of reliability, it brought frustration, leaving many wondering, how did this pass the quality test? This 4-cylinder engine was designed with efficiency and durability in mind. However, the promise of superior performance turned out to be an illusion for many drivers who expected more. After 80,000 miles, burning oil has become a nightmare for owners. With recurring problems, the expectation of a robust engine has become an extra burden on your driving experiences. Given the brand's high standards of luxury, consumers expected an engine that lived up to this reputation. The disappointment was palpable, and many wondered if the Lexus name was still synonymous with quality. At number 4, Dodge 3.7 LV6. The Dodge 3.7 LV6 promised power and endurance, but it didn't pass testing in many cars. Drivers soon realized that he could be more of a challenger than a champion on the roads. After all, who doesn't want an engine that delivers as promised? This V6 engine was the star of several Dodge pickup trucks and SUVs, designed to be robust. Unfortunately, many found that this engine had limited potential, making its use in exciting adventures seem more like a dream than a reality. After 90,000 miles, what once seemed like a smooth ride turned into a nightmare. Above all, overheating problems appeared like fireworks on the road, leaving drivers frustrated and ensuring that this engine joined the list of the worst. For heavy commercial applications, the engine's performance was disappointing. Strength and durability were expected for difficult loads and jobs, but for many, the Dodge behaved like a fragile van, raising doubts about its real efficiency. Now, we come to our top 3 on our list. Subaru V5 Boxer. The Subaru 2.5L Boxer brought innovation with its design, but the flaws didn't take long to appear. While the concept fascinated many, the reality of its durability left mechanics on alert and owners frustrated. With its opposed 4-cylinder engine, the Boxer was designed to offer a low center of gravity. This bold design aimed for performance and stability, but brought to light a series of unexpected mechanical complications. Head gasket problems are known to cause catastrophic failures. Imagine driving what should be a reliable car, only to encounter a breakdown that could cost thousands of dollars to fix. Although many enthusiasts defend the Boxer's unique design, it is undeniable that both citizens and investors question its durability. Is it worth the risk, or is it better to move on with other, more reliable options? At number 2, Chrysler 4.2 LV8. The Chrysler 4.2 LV8 started out as a promise of power and performance, but quickly turned into a mechanical nightmare for many drivers. Did you know that many considered him a real hell on wheels due to his constant failures? This V8 engine, which sounded like the American dream, had devastating structural problems. Instead of delighting, it left many owners wondering where they went wrong in choosing Chrysler. A real disaster in engine form. Owners quickly encountered problems such as oil burns and head failures. Imagine waking up and discovering that your engine has more smoke than power. He was a true confidence killer who left permanent scars. The failures of the 4.2 LV8 not only ruined lives, but also plunged Chrysler's reputation into an abyss of distrust. This engine has become a classic example of what can go wrong when promise doesn't meet reality. And now, first on our list, Chevrolet 5.3 LV8. The Chevrolet 5.3 LV8 is a very popular engine, but it has always had its critics regarding reliability on GM platforms. Owners often report disgust due to recurring problems that arise after a certain amount of use. This V8 is known for its quest for power and fuel efficiency, but does this combination really work in practice? After all, what should be a champion can be a champion of problems too. After 100,000 kilometers, many drivers face cylinder head failures and leaks. It's a nightmare many didn't expect to face when purchasing a performance-focused car. Is it time to rethink this choice? A widely used engine that generated both praise and frustration among owners. The Chevrolet 5.3 LV8 may be attractive at first glance, but it's important to look beyond the surface to understand its true performance. And so we come to the end of our video about the 20 worst American engines ever made. Certainly, each of these engines has brought both disappointment and learning over the years, and it's amazing how promises of power and efficiency can turn into true mechanical nightmares. Which of these engines is your favorite? Or do you know of any other engines that should be on this list? Leave your opinion in the comments, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible content like this. And don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any news.